So we're here at the example table, and in this video we're going to look at some quotient rule examples. So let's just remind ourselves of what the quotient rule says. It says that the derivative of f of x divided by g of x is f prime of x times g of x minus f of x times g prime of x all over g of x quantity squared. So let's look at an example. Let's say that f of x is 5x plus 2 over 8x minus 3. So our ratio of functions, the top one is 5x plus 2, the bottom one is 8x minus 3. So when we find f prime, the first thing we look for is the derivative of the top one. The derivative of the top one is just 5, right? The derivative of 5x is 5. The derivative of 2 is 0. So we take the derivative of the top times the bottom as is. And then we subtract the top times the derivative of the bottom. So the top is 5x plus 2 times the derivative of the bottom, which is just 8. And now we put this all over the denominator squared. And if we want to, we can simplify the top. We have a 5 times 8x, so this part cancels with this, which is 5x times 8. And we are left with 5 times negative 3, which is negative 15, minus 2 times 8, which is 16, all over 8x minus 3 squared, which becomes negative 31 over 8x minus 3 squared. Let's do another example. Let's now set f of x equal to 7x minus 9 over e to the x plus 2. So f prime of x is the derivative of the top times the bottom. Derivative of the top is just 7, and the bottom is e to the x plus 2. Then we subtract the top times the derivative of the bottom. And the top is 7x minus 9 times the derivative of the bottom. Well, remember the derivative of e to the x is just e to the x. The 2 disappears, right? The derivative is 0, so this is just e to the x. And now it's this whole thing over e to the x plus 2 quantity squared. Now you might be able to simplify some of this, but if you're not asked to do so, don't. And we won't do that here. Let's do one more example. Let's say f of x is 2x cubed plus x all over e to the x minus 9x to the 5th. What's f prime? Well, f prime, we start by taking the derivative of the top, which is 6x squared, right? The derivative of 2x cubed is 6x squared, plus the derivative of x, which is 1. So this thing times the denominator, e to the x minus 9x to the 5th. And then we subtract the top times the derivative of the bottom. So minus the quantity 2x cubed plus x times the derivative of the bottom. The derivative of e to the x, still just e to the x. And the derivative of 9x to the 5th, the 5 comes down and we get minus 45, right, 9 times 5, times x to the 4th. And it's this whole thing all over the denominator squared. So all over e to the x minus 9x to the 5th quantity squared. And those are some quotient rule examples.